Hi friends, it's Connie, the late blooming crafter, and I finished a journal that I wanted to flip through with you. I'm going to try to just do this without a lot of talking, and when I need to, I'll point out a couple things maybe. But just to start with, what I think is really neat is that without knowing, by looking at it, this started out as just a paper bag. And that's what's amazing about junk journals, is that we can make something very plain, very beautiful. I'm going to zoom back out right now because I'm real close, as you can see. And a couple things that I'll point out as well is that there are a couple pieces of ephemera, such as this altered playing card right here. And that came from Kathy's Garden Picks on Etsy. I follow her on YouTube. And I was really struggling with the, excuse me, all of a sudden I got a frog in my throat. I was really struggling with the cover. I felt like this added to it and made it look very pretty. But then all of a sudden, I didn't like this side. So my dear friend and crafty friend suggested a little bit of a focal point. And so I had just received this altered playing card, excuse me, in a package of ephemera from Kathy's Garden, and it worked out perfect. So I'll just start sharing and be quiet so you can look at the goodness. It just turned out very pretty. I'm very pleased with it. The front, after I finished it, I decided I didn't like the back. So I found a couple pieces from my linen stash and some trim from the Shabby Dollhouse. I believe this trim was from Crafty Me Shop. And then I just had some pieces that were in my stash. So I'm very pleased with it. Those two pieces, they were two little doilies, square doilies, and they fit perfect. Okay, I promised I wouldn't talk much, and I'm not doing that very well, am I? This is the end of the bag that I was able to put some ephemera in. I won't take it all apart just because that starts to take a little long when we do that. And I will say, I'm talking again, I will say that the goal of making this journal, my goal was to use up what I had, and I mostly did that. This is vellum. It was in my stash. One of my favorite stamps. First time I put anything that I've embossed in one of my journals. And this just has a little envelope pocket that I put in some folded coffee dyed digital. And then this was part of just some of the ephemera that I used up that I had in my stash. I love how this little pocket and tag turned out. When my son had to move home last fall due to a brain tumor. This became one of my favorite little sayings, and I found a lady on Facebook that made quilts, and she put flowers on them and said that she could also embroider any quote that I wanted, and this is the quote that I chose. So that's kind of special to me. Another favorite stamp. These two clusters, the one that you just saw a page or two ago, and this one, again, just in my stash. I didn't make them, but somehow I acquired them. More goodies that were in my stash. Just using things up. I really like this digital because it has lines already built in that are going the right way. Little paper bag that has a cute scalloped edge. I love that. And then I stamped it, and that stamp was really nice and has a lot of detail. And these seed pockets are from a digital that I have, that I had printed off and hadn't really done much with them, but finally decided to work with them a little bit. This is part of the same one, and this is an altered paper clip. And this is a really pretty stamp on the back of this. Let's see if we can get it out without too much trouble. You know I love this stamp. And then I just thought that was super cute stamp. First time I'd used it. In this page, another digital with lines. I just put an edge, you know, cut out some paper and put it on the edge to strengthen it a little bit. This is also from Kathy's Garden Picks, and it just went so nicely with the colors in here. And it's just also a page edger cluster. Beautiful. And the back of the bag. So here we can see I like having some areas of the bag showing so that the recipient can see what it was actually originally started as. And then I took this paper, I think this was Bo Bunny, and just folded it up so that it would fit in the little pocket on the end that was and I did line that a little bit to reinforce it, like you have to do sometimes with things, pockets and whatnot. This was something that I had acquired early on when I first started junk journaling. So again, just in an effort to use up those things. And then some pretty lace. So I really love how this journal turned out. Just a paper bag that turned so pretty. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Happy crafting.